Welcome back to everything about cosplay or about cosplay. So this time I got as my guest Dutch Frieza from Instagram. Uh, Thank you for cosplaying and I appreciate and I'm very honored to have you here.
I'm really happy to be here.
Okay, so if you don't mind, we will start with the question so people can know you.
Mhm.
Okay, so the first one is: do you consider yourself or do you feel related with the word geek or nerd?
Yeah, I really relate to geek or nerd. Like both of them. I call myself like a nerd a lot of times. Definitely at work.
And where's this love for this kind of work comes from? Where's the influence?
Well, when I was little, my brothers introduced me to anime and the games, especially Dragon Ball. And I started watching like very early, and my love became bigger, bigger. And I went to conventions, and it's just a part of my life right now. So
It became little by little, and then it just grow up.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. And have you made another interview before about cosplay?
Yeah, on a local news, reporters asked about cosplay, but they didn't know what it was. Like they really stereotyped it, so it wasn't like a fun interview. They
Was
were
it
like,
wasn't taken serious?
yeah, exactly. They were just like making fun of us, and it came on the news, and it really gave like a big backlash at them.
I know. Okay, and how does it feel, or how does the city treat the events that happen? This kind of events on did they give you a lot of did they talk about or much about it, or they just like okay, it's going to be an event of cosplaying and that's it.
Yeah, well, first I wanted to know like if you make the costumes yourself, and you say yeah, yeah, of course. Well, I do, and well, it's just the way they ask the questions because they knew they in their eyes they only see a bunch of nerds doing crazy stuff, and in my eyes, if people are like drinking and doing
Mm,
drugs or anything like that, that in my eyes is crazy. But in here, it's like normal, and we are strange.
okay. And how about when there is this kind of events or next Comic Con in your city? How does the city treats the event? Do you think there's a lot of advertising about it?
Well, we have Dutch Comic Con, and
Mm-hmm.
those are do a lot on even TV, like going on in the commercials in Comedy Central. They always put the commercials there in papers on online, so they really do a good marketing. You have like the smaller conventions,
Mm-hmm.
like real anime conventions. Those aren't that much in the news, but you'll just find out online, especially on Facebook.
Okay, so it's well advertised.
Yes.
And we're gonna do a little bit of remembering which was your first Comic Con, the first one that you went to.
Well, my first convention was well, the convention it was
Mm-hmm.
Anime Con in Almelo,
Mm-hmm.
yes. But the first festival where I really introduced well, to people in costume was Elfia, which is like the largest fantasy festival in the uh, well in the Netherlands. Yeah.
Okay. And the last one you went to.
The last one,
Mm-hmm.
well, which is still going. No, the last one was in yeah, that was also Dutch Comic Con. Yes, which is growing bigger every year, which is really fun.
That's nice. Um, and to the events that you have been through, which one is the one that you remember most?
Well, we always went to Abonai, and that is also an anime convention, which is 3 days, and it's so easygoing. Really, a lot of families there, and such a good vibe, and like it's like when you're coming there, it's like coming home. You really don't want to leave. It's such a nice convention. and it's not that commercial anymore. Not yet. Like AnimeCon is like going international, and they are just staying in a small hotel, and like a bunch of people coming there. And it's so fun.
Okay, and there is an event that you couldn't go yet, or would you like to go?
I am planning on going to London Comic-Con, MCM, which is our first convention abroad. So we're really excited. And I always wanted to go do more abroad conventions, especially want to go to like New York Comic-Con. Like that's a really good dream.
Yeah, the big ones.
Yes.
And do you go into the event? Do you go without cosplay, or you always wear a cosplay to the Comic-Con?
Yes, I always wear cosplay. Yes.
Okay. And do you have like a treasure, something that you have bought on the Comic-Cons and you really appreciate?
Ooh, well, I buy a lot of Frieza figures. Well, I have one treasure which is not bought on a convention, but it was like the Frieza plush, and it was, when I first saw it, it went on sale for like $500, and I'm like, yeah, I like it a lot, but that's too much for me. And now it was on like for $70, and I was like, yeah, it's still much, but I'm gonna buy it because I want it. That is really my treasure.
Okay, and the treasure that somebody had gave you as a gift or a present, which one would you say it is?
There was on a convention, there was a Kamehameha competition. So everyone was doing the Kamehameha, including me in my Frieza costume, which was kind of odd. And I won second place, and I got this the PlayStation set from the Dragon Ball. I don't know which game it was again, but it was like a large figure with it, and like I was really happy with it.
Nice. It's a really good gift. Is there a cosplayer on the internet or on the Comic-Con that you have met that you would recommend people to follow?
Well, I really love watching Shappy. She's Polish. And she was like a first judge when I went to a competition, and she was so amazing, so much fun. I also like, I always forget their names, Kamui, and well, at least those two. I really love those two. Like their building of armor is so amazing. And like when they do it, it looks so easy to do. So now I'm working on an armor myself, and it kind of works, but still need a long way to go.
Yeah, it's some people make cosplay look easy.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's not fair.
No.
Okay, and now, which was your first cosplay?
Well, my first cosplay was from Shining Tears, which was I forget her name. She was an elf. That was like my real first costume, which I created by combining some fabrics on some t-shirts and things. But the one I really made myself was Frieza, like this form. But this is the third time I made it. The helm, no, it's also like I made it from a children's helmet, and I was like getting a really headache because it was way too small. But that was my first costume.
What brings you to make your first cosplay? Because there's always a line that you need to cross to do cosplay, because there's like a shame or that you're not too sure how to make it. What makes you cross the line of doing cosplay?
Well, I always was a little creative, like drawing and things, and while watching the anime, I really fell in love with Frieza. And I was like, when we went to Elfia, I saw all the people going in costumes. I thought, why not? Why not try to make him? And that's where I started, and I asked my mom for like a lot of things. From how do I do this? And I didn't have a sewing machine, so I saw the whole tail with my hands. And when I compare both of them, like now and then, it was pretty awful. But hey, I've made a lot of friends with it, and it was amazing.
Okay. And when you make cosplay, do you like to do it all by yourself, or you like to ask people for advice, or some there's like a part that you cannot do and I say I would ask for it, or I'll do it myself?
Yeah, my when I go for like lights, my boyfriend is really good at adding, like he builds his own computer, so he knows like what to do with lights and thingies. So I always go for that things to him, and I say I need this, you're gonna make it, and he does it. I watch tutorials and do things like that, and I have a bunch of friends, and if I really can't figure out how to make it, I ask them, but most of the time I do it by myself.
Okay. And do you have somebody that helps you with the cosplays?
Like
Building.
putting it on, or?
Yes, putting on, building.
Most of them are like I can put on myself, like even like painting myself. But this one only has on the side Vicro, and I need my boyfriend to help me with that. That's the only thing he needs to do.
Okay.
Besides carrying my bags, which he doesn't like.
Okay. And what does your family and friends think about you when they see you with cosplay, or when you do cosplay?
They're really supportive. Like when I'm showing them the pictures, like even like aunts, or they're like amazed of how I make it. And like when I show them the pictures of the convention, they're like, whoa, there's so a lot of people who are doing it, and like there's a world coming out of it. And yeah, they're just amazed, which is good.
Yeah. And have you tried to convince someone to do cosplay?
I try to take my mom a lot of times, but she doesn't want to. Well, I also took my boyfriend to conventions, and first time he didn't want to go in costume, but when after a few years now he really wants to cosplay Link as Legend of Zelda, and he really enjoys it. So I'm happy that he's in costume.
And do you think that cosplay? Do you think that you gave cosplay enough of your time, or cosplay has taken time from other things?
I wish I could give more time to costumes, because like working and well, you have to get a living. But I wish I had more free time to build my costumes. But for now, it's a really good hobby.
Okay. And do you have like a workshop to build your cosplays?
Now I have my own place now, so I have an attic, like a large attic, and there I have like all my costumes and all the, like a bench with all the things which you need. When I was living at my parents' house, I claimed one room which was always like a mess. And then my dad came and like, yeah, you have to clean it up. We're like, yeah, but I need it.
So this is the next question, and I think you already answered it. But are you a tidy person, or do you have everything in a mess? And
I know. Sometimes, like when I'm working, it's really a mess, and it stays that for a couple of months until I really think, and I really need to clean it up right now, and then I'm going to clean it up.
And what do you do when you work on your cosplay? Do you listen to music, do you watch TV, or what do you do?
I listen to music. Most of the time I listen to anime remix theme songs or metal.
Okay. And have you competed in a cosplay contest?
I have in Motable. I just signed in. I hope that I'll be accepted for Dutch Comic Con. I participated in Abunai a few times. I also won second place one time. Oh. Also with this costume. I just love being on stage. First time it was really frightening But once I'm on stage, it just flows away, and I'm just being myself and do my tricks and things and just go with the flow.
Okay. And what do you think about the cosplay competition? Do you think they are great? They have worse? They're going better? What do you think about?
Well, there was one time there was I forget what was his name. The dancing anime. I forgot his name. But there are a lot of groups doing like the dancing anime, and it was just dancing group, dancing group, dancing group, me, dancing group, another costume, and dancing group. So now they separated like one competition for all the dancing groups and on the competition for just like the acts. And I really think that's a great idea. And well, it's just about having fun. It's not like really, in my eyes, it's not competing. Of course, it's competition, but it's not like competing like I'm the best or things like that. It's just, well, this is my costume. I worked hard on it. I like to have some appreciation about it and just having fun. And that's the most important thing.
Okay. And what do you think about the community cosplay in general? Do you think it's worse? It's getting better? It's okay?
Well, I see here a lot of younger people coming in. Like, I think I'm getting older. And, well, it's fun. Like, there's a new generation coming and they see different things. Like, Dragon Ball is like from the older, like 90s. And they think, what's that? And it's way too old. But hey, you do Boku no Hero, and that's fine with me. I think there's sometimes a little judgment about other costumes, people costuming, but I don't see that too often here.
Okay. And is there is a cosplay which you envy very much that would you like to have for you that you have seen on the internet or in a competition?
Yeah. Well, there's always like a list, like every cosplayer has his own list. Well, now I'm working on Nagakuga armor from Monster Hunter. I hope that I finish it before March. But I really want to make Mecha Frieza one time. Like, I made it one time and it was really awful. So I hope to do when I have a little more skill, can do it again and hope it will turn out better.
Okay. So wish you luck from now.
Thanks.
And is there a cosplayer that you have met, a famous cosplayer, or it's still a dream?
I have met Shappi, Yaya Han, and Raika, Japanese cosplayer. Sorry for the name. But like, I really love Shappi. She's so honest, so pure, and really amazing, really fun to chat with. And like Yaya and Raika were like really stiff, really like looking from the back, and she was like jumping around and like everything touching. But how you made this? How you made that? And yeah, that's what I really like.
Nice. And would you like that kind of fame for you? Would you like to be a famous cosplayer?
Sometimes I wish I could do it for a living, but I don't think like my skills aren't that great. Like when I see others doing their stuff and it's just amazing. I think it's better just to be it like a hobby and just make having fun. Then you really need to depend on it.
Okay. And when you go to the events, to the Comic Cons, do you wear your cosplay from home or do you put your cosplay on the Comic Con?
It depends on the convention. Most of the time my boyfriend drives and I sit back like this. Like when we are in the line, like for the parking, like people driving by and they're like, well, what's that? And I'm like, yay. I also went by train and I don't mind, but my boyfriend really doesn't like the attention that he's getting.
Nice. What do you think about the cosplay in the world in general? Do you think that it has the fame that it deserves? That it needs more? That it's going weaker? What do you think about it?
Well, it always gets like a really stereotype, like I said before, like a bunch of nerds going to dress up, party, and doing strange stuff. I wish that it could be like a little, um,
Taken more seriously, maybe.
yes, but also be more accepted. Like I think here in the Netherlands, it'd be little by little more accepted, but it still need to be. It needs to go way better.
Okay. And what keeps you making cosplay?
um, yeah, that's a good question. What's the drive? Well, there are still coming new anime, so there's always like, oh, that's a good costume. I really want to make that. So the list never ends. And it's just the fun and the people that you are meeting, new friends. Like when we're going to London, I hope to make a lot of new friends. And yeah,
Okay.
I think that's the drive.
Okay. And do you talk about cosplay outside this world? Do you talk about with a friend or in the job or you may in school? Do you talk about it?
Oh yes, I do. And like people don't understand it first, and then you explain like what you do, and they're like, and you walk there in costumes, yes. And then what? Well, you're just walking around and meeting new people. There's like always like a market where you can buy stuff, a lot of good food.
Okay. Do you like when people ask you for a picture?
I love it when they ask. Like sometimes I see sneaky people like going like this. I'm like, but just ask. I don't bite. I look like a villain, but I don't bite. Just come up to me and say, hey, can I have a picture? Then I pose with you. I can like try to kill you for the picture if you like, but just ask.
And how about you? Do you like to ask people, other cosplayers pictures?
I try to, but in that appearance, I'm really shy. Like I'm really good at when my boyfriend wants to ask for a picture, I come up to them and it's like, hey, he wants to get a picture with you. That I'm really good at. But when I want to get a picture by myself, I'm really shy.
Okay. A favorite character, or a favorite saga, a favorite anime, favorite movie that you see a character and I say, oh, I see that character, I always ask for a picture.
Oh, like that. Well, of course, if I see another Dragon Ball character, I really want to have a picture with them. Also, yeah, it's just characters that I really connect with, which I really like, and also if the costume is like really good. But also sometimes we have really fun with people chatting. I'm like, oh, just make a picture with each other, like just like a memorial, like we know what we have done.
Okay. And is there a cosplay that you think that you have like how do you say it that a lot of people ask you pictures?
Well, this costume got a lot of pictures taken. I hope that the new one that I'm making will get a lot of attention.
Okay. And with the poses that you make for the pictures, do you practice them in your home or do you get improvised?
I try to practice them a little. Like, well, Frieza has like a few poses which he does all the time, and of course, like when you get your pictures back, it's like the same pose, the same pose, the same pose. So I try to change it sometimes, but it's really difficult because he does like the same things over again. So sometimes I do poses from other characters, which is fun.
Okay. And when you start a cosplay, since we talk about it, you started with a lot of you very excited, or do you started with skepticism and you start like, okay, I'm gonna start the cosplay, but depending on how it goes, I'll be sad, I'll be happy, or how do you start your cosplay?
Well, first I'm really excited,
Hmm.
and if something doesn't work quite well, I always get like really upset, like always cry. Like here we have like a saying which calls blood, sweat, and tears. Like I love tears, and but after it's done, I always feel like relieved or excited again. Sometimes it's going a little down, like I don't want to work on it again. And after a few months, I'm like, well, I'm gonna pick it up again.
Okay, it's an elevator, go up and down,
Yeah,
go up
exactly.
in the cosplay, do you have like a list of them, and you say, oh, this year I'm going to make this one, this one, this one, or they appear from nowhere?
I tried to make a list, and I actually told like people like I'm gonna do these costumes on that convention, and I only made one of them, and the others never came actually. I never made them. So I tried to make a list, but now I'm just like, when I really want to make something, I'm gonna do it.
Okay, and when you choose a character for cosplaying, do you do the character before because you really like the character, or you try the morals, the ideas to be like yours?
Mm-hmm. Well, of course, you have to like the character, otherwise it would be a little strange if you don't like it. But like, I made Zelda from Skyward Sword, and I choose her because she was like really outgoing and really fun, and I really could relate to her. As for Affinia from Monster Hunter Stories, she was also like a little shy, but also like really stood out for each other, for everyone. And I really thought myself like, yeah, that's a character I can easily do. As for Frieza, he's my favorite character of all time, so I really had to make him, but he's like pure evil and I'm completely not. So that's also like sometimes really a little hard for me. Like when people come up to me, I'm like, "Oh, you want a picture?" And he asks for, "Can I have your picture, please?" Like, "Yeah, sure, come here, come next to me," and totally not in character.
Yeah, something like that, totally new in character. And is there something that you had to learn to do cosplay?
I took an sewing class,
Hmm.
and there I learned like making my own clothes and working with patterns. And from that, I made this one and doing more and more things. That was really helpful. I also watched tutorials on YouTube, and those are really helpful as well.
And is there something that you already know that helps you in this world?
Um, well, it's strange. Like things when you making something,
Hmm.
um, sometimes you just already know how to make something, and this is strange because nobody taught you, but you just know it. It makes sense, like to do something like this and put it like this together. Um, yeah, you just do it.
Okay. And is there something that you would like to improve that you know?
I really want to improve my skills based on like working with foam, EVA foam. Like now, I just made this for the first time, and well, it was kind of okay for me. But I really want to improve there. So with the new costume, I do it a lot, like also working with Warbler, and see where that goes.
Okay. And is there like an advice that would you give to the people who would like to start on on cosplaying, or people that is starting?
It doesn't really matter like if it's good or not good. Like every costume is good, and you don't have to like purchase high-end stuff like Warbler or things. Like I get my avion from the the what's it called? Like a large market where they do it for like pools. They put it on the ground for pools, like that you don't slip. I use those for foam sheets, which is really not expensive at all. And well, if you can find things like that, and you also get like really creative. Like when I'm at the job and I see like empty bottles or things like that, and I'm gonna take it because I know that I can make a weapon out of it or something like that. You can get really creative, and it doesn't necessarily has to cost a lot. And just remember to have fun.
And to the old ones, to the old cosplayers, the one have already done a lot of cosplay, what advice would you give them?
Well, I always think there's still room for improvements. Like you'll always learn more things, and if you are happy like how you are doing the things now, just continue with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there like a material, a type of material that would you recommend to people to work with?
I use a lot of fabric and using like plush filling. But I think just like when I'm doing the sewing, I forgot the word. It's just easy for me to use like the fabric and create things with that. For now, I'm like trying to use foam and warbler. Just use what you think is comfortable and what you think you can make good things out of it.
Okay. And is there a material that you don't like to work with?
Well, there was this one fabric which called, well, in Dutch it's called lame. I don't know what's in English, but it was really shiny fabric, really beautiful, but it didn't breathe, so I was like dying in the costume. So I'm never gonna work with that again.
So take a close attention because your health depends on.
Yeah.
Okay. So, stay away from lame.
Yeah.
Stay away. Okay. And when you start a cosplay, do you look for references? Do you have ideas, or do you start a cosplay by your own?
I first try to like look for other cosplayers who did the same costume. For Frieza, I watched Glay, which was my inspiration for doing Frieza. She was like all the different poses. Like I thought, thinking of how she made things, and same goes for like the Nagakuga armor. I look for how people make specific things, and I take that from everyone and then put it all on a pile and make my own thing.
And is there's like you have do you have a cosplay that you would like to improve?
Well, I've improved this one for the third time, so that's this one is finally a little finished. Well, what I would like to improve? I made Affinia from Monster Hunter, and she is kind of broken right now, so I think she needs a little repair.
Okay. And when you do cosplay, do you like to be by your own, or do you like to be in a group with a lot of people?
Most of the time we're actually with a quite big group. Well, like a big group always goes like separate ways, like everyone wants to see different things. But most of the time, well, at least 5 people we're around and just walking around.
Okay. And is there like a cosplay that doesn't draw your attention, or that you won't do that type of cosplay?
Won't or will do?
Will not do.
Will not do. Well, my body type is not that slim, so I like sometimes I see like costumes of cosplayers like wearing almost nothing, and you can see their butts. and I'm thinking like there are little kids here as well. Like, put something on, like not. I know that you like to prank with your body, but in my eyes, it's just a little. It's
Too much.
giving the wrong intention.
It's a little too much.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you think is worse to a cosplayer? Not finishing a cosplay in time, or the cosplay got broke on the Comic-Con?
I think if it's getting broke, like if you have a really good prop and you're walking around and it just breaks in half, I think your heart will break as well because you put so much effort into it. Like I made one tail and like somebody stepped on it and it will all people of all like all the filling was spilling out. So I went to the emergency room and saw it back together, and it happened 3 times that day, so it was awful. So I think really the second thing, like if something breaks at the convention, it's really awful.
Okay, you became Frieza, you became evil. It's like, why do you stab on my tail? And
no.
yeah, and do you like to repeat cosplay, or do you like to wear one, or do you like to have a new one to every convention?
I cosplay the costumes like Frieza. I do a lot because in the Netherlands I kind of known for it. And if I make something different, I'm gonna wear that like a few times at different conventions. But I always try to bring this one with me.
Okay. And is there something that you like in other conventions that they did around the world that would you like to do? Do you like them to do in the ones that you go? Like something that would you like to do on your convention that doesn't have the convention that you go? They don't have.
Oh, well, I think like every convention. Well, I don't know like how it is in abroad because like I've never been there, but
okay.
I think like all the conventions in the Netherlands like have the same things, except for I know one thing. I hope like with all my heart that a few voice actors will come to the Netherlands, especially from Dragon Ball, which would be amazing.
Okay, so there's the advice. Okay, so take note.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you think about the Comic-Con? Do you think that they are worse, better, the same, need to improve? What do you think about them?
Well, in the Netherlands, it's still improving. Like first, it was just one hall, and it's just really small. And now it's already like 2 big ones, and it's getting bigger and bigger. Well, better actors are coming. Yeah, I think it's really improving.
Okay. And is there like a cosplay that you have that you cannot do because whatever happens and the cosplay just stay back?
Well, I did Pyramid Head once from Silent Hill, which is like a very big thing. Also, the sword was really big, and it was really busy at the time. But like people just walking around you, so they didn't make any complicity. Like with this one, I sometimes poke people's eyes out, but that's the only thing.
Okay. And do you have like an impossible cosplay, so a character that you will never do because there's something or there's a part of the character that is for you impossible to do, or maybe something that is like I'm not tall enough, I'm not black enough, I'm not. Is there like an impossible character that you would like to make but you can't for a reason?
Well, there are like dreams like cosplaying for characters that I really want to do, but are just so like more like the work. Like I really want to do Gilgamesh from Fate Zero, and well, the armor is so big, and I think that's way too much for me to make.
Okay, we'll say Gilgamesh, the King Gilgamesh, and his funny swords.
Yeah.
He has many, and um, I think it's already answered. But there's a thing called crossplay, which you dress as the character of the opposite gender. Um, have you done it, or do you how do you would like to do it? Would you change a little bit the character to suit you better, or would you do it the opposite way, that you will suit the character the best you can?
I did. Well, I do crossplay a lot. I actually used a chest binder once for the first form, because it's like a jumpsuit, and well, you see the feminine things. Well, that's the only thing like I changed about my own body, but not the character. For Pyramid Head, I made a female version. So I made like a long dress with all blood things on it. That's like when I changed, and the other characters are just or female or male, and I don't change. It's just the character, and I'll change my body for it.
Okay. And do you wear your cosplays on Halloween?
No.
Okay.
No, I took the dress from Pyramid Head, but I didn't like put all the things on it. No, Halloween is really casual, actually.
Okay, so you think there's separate things. Halloween and cosplay, they don't go together.
Yeah.
Okay. And have you stopped doing cosplay on your life, or do you think you will stop eventually?
Well, I hope like when I have kids of my own that I'm gonna take them to the conventions and cosplaying with them, still doing of competing. I hope like sometimes you see like pretty old people are doing like the costumes, and it's just amazing. Like I really hope that I'm gonna be like old like that. Like when my grandchildren are coming, like, oh, Granny, you're so cool. Like things like that. It would be awesome.
Okay. And do you have like a funny, how is it, story to share with us about a picture that somebody confused you, or children that start crying when she saw you? You have something like that you would like to share with us?
When I went to Elvia as Frieza, and the train before me collapsed, so I was stranded in Utrecht, which is like a really busy station. I was waiting for my parents to pick me up, and I was sitting there, and my mom called like, we're almost here, so you can walk to the exit. So I was walking there, and a guy behind me just yelled, "Hey, it's Vegeta!" So I turned around and said, "How dare you calling me a monkey?" And he was like, "What? Oh, sorry. I said, "It's Frieza!"
Nice one.
And I turned around and just walked off, and I was up by myself at the station, but I had so much fun.
That's a nice one. And this is something that they ask people, because it's like my dream. Okay. And do you know that we have like a Star Wars day, and we have like a tree day, and a day for everything, okay, nowadays. And I dream of having a cosplay day, and to celebrate it with with a parade, and in the cities, and a lot of cosplayers going to those streets, and like just having fun and taking pictures, and that's it. And what do you think about this idea, and would you like to participate in it?
It would be. I think it would be amazing. Like one day that you can be like yourself and introducing the outside world of what cosplay is. It's just like the idea of like in New York Comic Con, you always have like this long parade when they're going to the convention. Like all the people are looking outside. I think like in the Netherlands, it's the community is a little too small to be to have things like that, but I wish it could be. It would be fun, definitely.
Okay. Do you have like a favorite character of all time?
Frieza.
Okay. And I think I'm gonna ask it anyway, because reasons. And you have a favorite villain?
Frieza.
Okay. Okay. Um, just for the record. And do you have like a favorite type of character?
What do
You
you mean by
want,
type?
yeah, characters that the lonely type, the friendly type.
Oh, like that. I always get a little bit more drawn to the villains for some reason. Yeah, I'm a villain guy.
Pro villain,
Girl.
pro villain. Okay. And is there's like a book, a movie, or an anime that would you recommend to people that you would say you have to see this? You cannot die without seeing this, or watch this, or reading this.
um, yeah. I just finished Ubu Blood, which is a little erotic sometimes, but it's the story is really good. It's just now a manga, so I really hope that it's gonna be animated soon. Yeah, that is a really good story. We now reading the manga from The Legend of Zelda, like all the stories of it, and it's also really fun to. It gives you a little more information about Link, and I think that's really interesting. For a series, watch The Witcher. That one is really good.
Okay, so take a note, Witcher. Okay, and the last question. Is there is a power or ability that you would like to have in real life that you have read or watch or
Oh, I would love to have the powers of Frieza,
Okay.
like just getting like key, just like key, like you getting yourself your energy, you're making like a blast. Oh, I would love to have that, and like flying,
and
like
and
not with wings, but just like fly by yourself.
and turning gold
Nah, the key.
and turning
Just
gold.
like the key, like the powers. Like I really would love that.
Okay, so that was the last question. I hope you enjoyed the interview. I'm very glad that you come here as the evil king, Frieza, as the planet conqueror. Okay, and hope you enjoy it. Thanks for being here. If you want to add something else to the interview.
Well, just cosplay and having fun. That's like the best thing.
Okay, so we'll take note. Okay, remember, cosplay and have fun. That's it. Okay, I really want to thank you again. Really appreciate that you come with your cosplay. I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. And that's it. Thank you for giving me time. And that's the end of the interview. If you want to see more of her work, we will leave you the links of her profile and everything in the description. Okay, so you can watch more of Evil Frieza. Okay. And that's it. Thank you for watching the video, and see ya.